Alright, last year we have gotten an animated Garfield movie, and I remembered watching this with my friend, my mom, and my little cousins, and it was a good time. But my question is, how does Garfield movie compare to the live-action version? Well, to live-action version. In fact, let the battle crash. Okay, like what story? Garfield is a cartoon that actually doesn't have a story. They're basically just there for reruns. But although I found the story in the animated Garfield pretty much better, I mean, this movie overall has a emotional arc of Garfield origin story and his daddy issues. And I gotta say, I like how they execute the backstory of Garfield. Like, it reminded me of how I adopted my cat, who is with my grandma by now. Well, the live-action Garfield movie, on the other hand, just gave me nothing. All they does is waste time of the audience reason why they watch this movie. And then we get a second part of the story, which we already seen before. So yeah, I think I made my point. The movie with the superior story is the animated Garfield movie. All three of these movies technically had the same characters, well, except that the second movie is about loyalty stuff, and the reboot is about Garfield's biological dad who's on debt. Yeah, whatever I'm gonna say, I'm going to mean it. The CGI just really massacred the Garfield characters. I mean, I just can't watch this whenever I'm watching this, and they can be pretty jokey with the movie. When I look at the runtime, I was surprised this movie was an hour and 20 minutes, because this movie felt slow to me, and I was laughing the whole time. Well, the second one was better executed with the story here, but it was not that strong either. Just like in the first one, they did nothing, but maybe they didn't know what to do with the story in this point and do whatever they want with it. And the CGI was much worse in this movie, and I wouldn't let the kids watch this, although it was interesting to see a copy of clone of Garfield, but it always there for the need to end, and we don't get enough of that. Well, the animated Garfield, well, we see Garfield go through a daddy issue, and every character had a slow-paced backstory, and honestly, it makes sense and helped the characters grow. So the movie with the superior characters is the animated Garfield. Okay, enough talking about the characters. Let's talk about the villains. The villains in the live-action Garfield are just mostly human characters, and they do not hold as a threat or even try to be one, in fact, I oppose. The villains in Garfield are much superior, and they have a really slow-paced backstory as well. And the final battle climax was pretty cool. Like, I was really impressed about the action there, but I wasn't impressed with the action in the live action versions. The 2004 one just felt unexpired and uneventful, and Tales of the Two Kitties was just something that we already seen before, like Home Alone as a example. And to remind you, these Garfield villains are powerful, so the movie with the superior villains in action is the animated version. Undoubtedly, the animated ones are great, and the live-action movies was just the need to exist just to make money. Well, in fact, the movie is so bad that even Bill Murray doesn't like his own movie that he acted in.
Do you have any regrets?
Garfield, maybe?
Yeah, you see what I mean? Bill Murray deserved better than this. And I am glad he is still doing well. Especially he keeps on making Ghostbusters movies. Okay, overall, the live-action Garfield was just the need for entertainment. Especially Tales of the Two Kitties, that is slightly better. The animated Garfield need to exist. And upon of watching it with my younger cousin, he loved it. So the Garfield movie from 2004 gets a 1 out of 10. Tales of the Two Kitty gets a standard 3. And the animated Garfield movie gets an 8 out of 10. Okay, although the only criticism that I had with the animated version is that the plot is pretty simple, and John should need a bit more screen time. But despite that, since we have a true Garfield movie that actually did good, I'm just going to forget that Tales of the Two Kitties existed. Oh, and I will also forget that the 2004 live-action Garfield existed.